What are you on track to close in your third month of being a signing agent?
Right now, I'm looking to close around 8,000, maybe hit 8.5. I was like, something has to change, or else I'm gonna die in Austin, Texas, which is also why I'm so happy to be here because I am here right now.
Another on the road with signing agent Nick and out in the great state of Colorado. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mark?
Dude, your story is crazy inspiring. You've only been a signing agent for 3 months.
Yes, sir.
What are you on track to close in the month of April in your third month of being a signing agent?
Right now, I'm looking to close around 8,000, maybe hit 8.5.
8,000. We're 3 weeks into the month of April. How much have you done 3 weeks in the month of April?
5,500.
So you've already made $5,000 this month. And this is only the third month in your business. Before we tell people about your crazy work ethic and your crazy scaling so quick, your story within itself is super inspirational. That's really another main reason I wanted to bring you on. And so, you know, there was a moment in your life where you made a decision, I got to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be a signing agent 3 months ago. But let's take people back, man, because I want to show people that you can get through what you've been through in your life, man. You're crazy inspirational, that anyone can build this business. So, take us back and I'll let you share whatever you feel vulnerable enough sharing today.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark, so much. I'm so glad to be here. Just hoping my story is going to help inspire people, because somebody else did it for me,
Yeah.
you know. But I started struggling with addiction at a young age, about 13, 14 years old. It progressed throughout my life and through traumatic events and other circumstances. Eventually, it led to a point where I was homeless for multiple years. I was never felt fulfilled. I was depressed and just in a really bad place. And it wasn't until I finally said enough is enough.
Mm.
And that's when I decided that I was going to move away from Austin and start a brand new journey in Colorado. And that's how
No,
I'm here today.
first, thank you for being vulnerable to share that you've been battling an addiction. Um, it's something that you probably battle every day to get through. And I'm sure there are people watching this who are on the same journey as you, because you said it so nonchalantly as if there wasn't so many valleys. If Nick can build this business through what he's been through, like anyone could build this business. So talk about the struggle. You said you left a rehab facility and talk through just some of those dark moments. And again, to show people that they're not alone if they have the same ones.
Yeah, definitely. So, when I was younger, I didn't quite understand what drug addiction was, and I don't think my parents or my friends did either. We just thought that there was something wrong with me, and that's what I had always thought too. And I remember at the age of, my friends who, or, like my older adult friends who I knew, they would talk about how they partied when they were younger, right? But they had successful jobs, they had families, they had car, you know what I mean? They seemed happy, and so I was like, "Oh, it's just a phase. I'll just grow up and it'll go away." And that wasn't the case. And it got to the point where I believed the delusions that I was telling myself that everything's just going to change one day. And that is a delusion that is perpetuated throughout my cycles of either getting sober or relapsing and going back into treatment, getting sober, right? And sobriety isn't linear. It goes up and down, and both of those, like, I like to say that if I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backward.
Mhm.
And so, what can be challenging about addiction specifically is that it's a disease of the mind. And so it not only, do you stop taking the drugs and alcohol, right? But then you get to find out who you truly are as an individual. That's where the real work is. And it's, yes, the substances are, addictive, and the disease is, perpetuates in the mind. But I don't think I was, at a young age, I suffered from strokes and open heart surgery. At age of 20 years old, I was an IV addict, and um, luckily I haven't used a needle in over 10 years now, so I'm very proud of that. Um, And due to my, let's just say, unhealthy living habits, I got a staph infection from a dirty needle. It went straight to my heart. I had a it was called yeah, staph infection to the heart. I had 4 strokes, lost the ability to read, write, walk, talk, and move, and had my first open heart surgery. I always like to I always like to joke around a little bit, but they were gonna go with a pig heart for me, but my heart was too big, so they had to go with a cow.
You've been through a journey, but man, I mean, we communicate throughout the Facebook group, but this is the first time we really communicate face to face, and your spirit and is just it's so beautiful, dude. Like your
Thank you.
smile and your energy, and you could have easily been, defeated by this. But I just have to say, man, like your energy and your spirit, it comes through this video. And I'm sure other people will feel it. Like you're just giddy and you're happy. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's inspiring to see how you're on the other side. The other side's still going to take work, but it hasn't crushed who you are. And I think that's beautiful, dude. Is there anything else that you want to share that you think is something that might inspire somebody not to give up and keep on going?
About 7 years ago, I had a really big relapse, and I did start touching the hard drugs again. And it was back to that delusion that I thought that, oh, I can just do it one time, you know? And that one time turned into 3 years.
Mm,
And that 3 years turned into the darkest place I've ever been to in my life. The only person I spoke to was my drug dealer.
mm,
Um, I lived in my car
mm,
or on people's couches. I was in psych wards. I was going to treatment centers, and within a 2 year cycle, I went to 12 of them. You know, and the only reason I even bring up that number is because I will not give up.
mm,
It doesn't matter how many times you go to treatment. It doesn't matter how many times you relapse, right? What matter? I mean, it really the drive to want to get better and to fight your disease and not even fight your disease. I think part of it is like accepting it for what it is and not fighting it, but instead using that perceptive change to get better.
mm,
And I did that through the help of my therapist, through medications, through positive support groups, through my hobbies, getting back into writing music. And then, which eventually led into me wanting to help other people again. And so, after 3 years of in and out of treatment centers, in and out of psych wards, homeless, poor all the time, losing massive amounts of weight, and my second open heart surgery at the age of 30,
wow.
I was like, something has to change, or else I'm gonna die in Austin, Texas. And that's not me like overshadowing. That's like me, doctors telling me, like, dude, if you don't knock it off, we don't even know how you're here right now, which is also why I'm so happy to be here because I am here right now.
Yeah. Being inspiration, brother. Like all I can say, like I find myself getting a little emotional because I mean, as someone who has his own journey, mental health journey, like I know how tough it is. And so the way that you have this spirit about you, about not giving up and this unbelievable spirit of wanting to give back and help other humans, like just it's an honor to know you, man. It's an honor to be on this journey. You are literally just starting this journey. If there's somebody else going through their moment right now, what their version of a dark time, what would you say to them to inspire them to keep going and keep getting through?
I think the beautiful thing of life is that it is constantly changing. And while that can be fearful for many people, including myself, um, that also gives me a lot of inspiration knowing that change is always possible.
Yeah.
And I'll be real with you. If you think you can do it alone, that's the mistake I believe everybody makes.
Hmm.
Me myself for years thinking I could do it by myself, but there's a reason why we have
Yeah.
family and friends and mentors and positive influences in our lives. And it's not for them just to sit on the sidelines and go woo or you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
we are in this together, whether you're a notary or not, whether
Yeah.
you're in addiction or you're not,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
you're a friend or not. Like really, we have to be in this together, because if we're not moving forward, we're moving backwards.
Now I know why you're crushing it. The first 3 months. I mean, this is incredible. We're gonna go over your income journey next. But I just want to say thank you for sharing your journey, being vulnerable enough to let people know that you're out on the other side. And
Yeah,
on the other side is going to take work, constant work, but you're up for the challenge. It's like you're built to build a business now because of what you've been through.
yeah.
Like honestly, the word no, like that pales, that doesn't even go on the radar compared to what you've been through. Like the number one trait it takes to be a good business owner is resilience.
Honestly, I mean this with 110% everything within me. I am so incredibly grateful for those 3 years when I was homeless, a druggie, dying, because it's the yin and the yang. Without the absolute bottom of the bottom, there's no way I've been able to soar enough to the top, to get as far
Ah,
away from it as possible. And it's a part of the journey, right? My addiction is part of who I am. I'm not shying away from that, right? And but now I'm continuing to work on myself through therapy, through medications, through positive relationships, through focusing on business, talking to my family again, having friends again, right? All of these things. And if I didn't have that experience, 3 years of hating existence, I don't think I would have the positivity in my life right now to love existence.
I mean, you're the poster boy for framing everything positively. And again, I mean, you walk the walk, you talk the talk. And so, we'll move on to your income journey. Just thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Thank
Thank
you
you for
for
letting me share my journey. Like somebody else helped me.
Mhm.
So I the only way this continues to grow is if we pay it forward.
So speaking of paying it forward, let's talk about your journey.
Yeah.
So
Talk about the good
look, dude, you've been in the business for a whopping 3 months, right? I
stuff.
mean, it blows my mind because you've been able to scale. So your first couple weeks in the business, how much money did you make?
First couple weeks, probably like 6 to 800.
Say $800.
Yeah.
I would argue like that is a great first 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that literally. I mean, you made $600 to $800. What do you attribute that to before we get to your next phase?
For me, this was all or nothing. So I was very much of a, I don't have, look, I'm not making enough money to even put money aside right now. So why am I still working here when I can just transition into a full time? So maybe the only reason I didn't get hired in those first 2 weeks was because I was still working at Amazon. So
Got it.
once I was able to take that and increase my time frame, I was golden. Let's go. I could take any loan signings. You need
So,
one.
I mean, what I really heard though is it was all or nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think it's a beautiful place to be, by the way. It's because it's amazing what happens when there is no plan B.
Yep.
Sometimes when there's a plan B or C, it allows us not to put our foot really on the gas. And I think a lot of times people see a signing agent like you and they're like, oh, it was luck. That's far from it. We're about to talk about that in this next part of the conversation. But $600-800 all or nothing. Your first full month in business, which was March 2024, how much did you make?
5,500.
55 in your first full month, six
Yep.
weeks in the business.
Yep.
You did $5,500 in 1 month.
Yep.
We're now 3 weeks into April and you've also done $5,500.
Yep.
So I think people see, I want to now pull the curtain back on the success. In order to do $5,000 literally in your second month as ever being a signing agent, tell people the effort that you had to put in to get there.
So when I first started off, I was hitting about anywhere from 5 to 10 title companies, realtors, realty companies, loan officers, going to networking events. I mean, every day there was a dedicated time slot to meet in person with my local community.
How many days in a row did you do 5 or 10 title companies or 5 to 10 events, people you get in front of? How many weeks was that?
It was probably a good 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I don't want to say I was at 40 title companies in two
Yep.
weeks, because that's not true, right? But when I'm doing Uber Eats, if I see a realty company, if I stop at pick up an order somewhere and there's a title company there, I'm giving them a marketing bag. You
Yeah.
know, I'm constant. Every single person who comes to my website gets a personalized message from me asking them if they need a notary.
Well, what I want people to hear is how are these signing agents making $5,000 in the 6 month? It's impossible. It's not impossible. It's effort, and that's all I really wanted. I mean, the magic isn't in the scripts. The magic isn't in the this is a mythical business. This business is real if you want to put in real effort. We're 3 weeks into your third month, and we're at 5,500. Your goal is 8,000 for the month. But the point I want people to hear is it's just about effort. And it's mass effort. Why are you putting so much effort into your business?
Two reasons. I never want to go back to where I was again,
Mm,
and I want to help as many people as possible.
Okay, let's hold on. Let's unpack that. I don't ever want to go back to where I was. And I think there's power turning your pain into passion. And you really leverage that. Again, it is that can be an asset or liability, and you're using it as an asset. I'm not gonna go back there. It's amazing. Again, I've said it, I'm gonna say it again. What we're capable of when there's no plan B. Like you burn the boats, right? You ever heard that analogy? Just burn the boats. Like there's no going back out on shore, out to
Yep.
the ocean. It's like, and that's what it takes, and that's the magic. Yes, I have scripts, but everyone has the same course. Not everyone does the same thing with it. And that's what I want to make sure you get your flowers. And anyone who's watching this video, if you want to make $5,000 in your second month, then do 5 to 10 title companies in a day. Now let's really inspire people. 5 to 10 title companies, right? Let's say you hit 20 a week. Okay.
Yep.
How many out of the 20 actually used you?
5.
That's my point. I think a
That's all I
lot of
need.
people,
That's all I need too. I have more than enough business between signing services and direct signings.
your effort determines how big this business grows and how fast it grows. And again, I'm not saying that Nick's journey is for everybody. I'm definitely not suggesting
No,
everybody work 80 hours a week, but what I am suggesting is really understanding that once you have the fundamentals and know what you're doing, the rest is up to you.
I don't work 80 hours a week now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to,
Good point.
to get my business where it needed to be in order for me to succeed the way I want to and put myself and to set myself up for success to be able to scale into a signing service. And that's just like one of my
Yeah.
businesses, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I worked 80, 90 hours a week the first month and a half. Do I do that now? No.
What you went through has made you a good businessman, dude. And so I'm just so happy for you being sober and clean, dude. Um, I'm always
Coming
a
up on the 8
message
months.
away. Yes, it's 8 months. Let's go. I think there are people out there who have a story similar to yours, that might be like, who's going to hire me?
Yeah.
Like, and so if someone who struggled on or a similar journey of yours who may be thinking like, no one's going to hire me. I've been, on this sober up and down journey for 10 years. Help them through that, understand that this business is all about what you can do for me now, not where you've been.
100%. That imposter syndrome, it's all BS that I've even experienced in my life plenty of times. Here's the thing, like for me, I love the journey. That was the one thing I told myself when I was going to move out here to Denver is I was no longer going to future trip and focus on what's going to happen. It's good to have goals. Set your goal, but you got to live in the now. And that's what I've done is I truly am enjoying each step of the journey. From the time where I had $50 in my account and I had to decide what flavor ramen I wanted to eat this week to today being able to pick up lamb chops at the grocery store. It's all about enjoying the journey, and because you have to appreciate each and every
Yeah.
step you take.
That brings us to the next question, which I think is very appropriate. I mean, if a signing agent was watching this 3 months in, I'm doing the math over here. You've already cleared 10, almost $15,000 in 3 months, brand spanking new in the industry. What would your number one piece of advice to give someone else who wants to scale this business in 3 months like you have?
Every single no is one step closer to a yes. Like your
Okay.
no is what is eventually going to turn into a yes. And there are signing companies that I just, they still haven't called me yet, or local title companies, they still haven't called for a signing yet. I still show up every single month and just let them know that I'm still here.
Your sense of urgency of building this is incredible. Would you say maybe people need to operate in that space a little bit more to get where they want to go?
Oh, 100%. 100%. The second I get a lead, they get a phone call.
Mm,
If they don't answer their phone call, leave them a voicemail. And if they don't listen to their voicemail, as soon as I leave that, I also send them a text message.
mhm.
I mean, if you contacted me or if you need notary services and you made it known, I'm not stopping until I hear back from you.
Well, again, I just trying to ask, and I don't know your follow-up style, but you a sense of urgency. Everybody, it
Yep.
doesn't matter if they give you business or not. You're following up like a madman, and that's what business is about. Whoever has the biggest sense of urgency usually scales the quickest. And I'm so proud of you, man. So let's kind of jump into the last question. And you're really young in your journey for me to ask this, but I ask it to every signing agent. If you can look back on your journey of a whole whopping 3 months, is there anything you would have done differently, or is there something you wish you could have whispered into the ear of signing agent Nick 3 months ago to maybe help expedite this process even quicker or more?
I got to the point, I guess, mid-January where I was signing up for signing services, right? And I signed up for like 10, right? I did in the course, it's like sign up with these 10 right here, right? So I signed up with 10 of them, and then I sat down on my ass and I waited for nothing. It wasn't until I decided I was taking my business into my hands and I'm not waiting on signing services.
Mm,
Nick wants to go out and make his business. He needs to actually go out and like and market, talk to people, make marketing bags. This delusion that people are just going to give me signings because I signed up for their service.
yeah,
Like, if nobody knows who I am,
yeah,
the what I can offer, like if I'm not going out there and doing everything I can to get the next to get the next signing, then what am I doing? I was just sitting there and waiting for my business to grow. So that's what I would have done differently is come to the realization that I have a business to run and I have if I want to be successful, if I want to have influence on people, if I want to help people and grow even further, I'm gonna have to put in as much effort as possible,
yeah.
which is why I started working 80 to 90 hours a week because I
Love
started
it.
off working none.
I just want to say I'm proud of you, dude. Thank you for
Thanks, brother.
sharing your journey. I hope this inspired somebody today. You turned your trauma into triumph, and it's a beautiful story. I know you're just starting to write this chapter, and I'm just super excited to have a little footnote in this chapter, man. But don't stop, keep taking this moon, dude. And until next time, just thank you, brother. Have a good rest of your day, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mark.